I've done my best and my worst, learned my lessons. No matter how hard my life would treat me, I'd always get right back up, never worry. Cause I got a million reasons to keep holding on. Yeah, I got all that it takes to win and overcome. What I got is just a feeling, but it's so strong. It goes on and on, on and on. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every beat. I never just believe in what I see, cause I can feel the energy. Cause I can feel the energy. I've met my demons one too many times. They taught me lows are what makes you feel so high. No matter how far my mind would wander, I'd always dare it to go even farther. Cause I got a million reasons to keep holding on. Yeah, I got all that it takes to win and overcome. What I got is just a feeling, but it's so strong. It goes on and on and on. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every beat. I never just believe in what I see, cause I can feel the energy. I can feel it, cause I can feel the energy. I can feel it, yeah. I believe it, yeah. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every beat. I never just believe in what I see, cause I can feel the energy. I can feel it. I feel it.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another happy Friday to the Advantage Live show. I am Adam Gullett, Director of Growth with Century 21 Advantage Realty, and I am one of the hosts of the Advantage Live show, and I'm joined with
Jane Polivchik, and I'm the trainer and coach for Century 21 Advantage.
Guys, we are excited about today. We've got a couple good special guests with us. We're going to have a wonderful conversation with the well-known Jared James, which is the founder of Jared James Enterprises and Jarja Media. So he's going to come on the show. We're going to be doing a little conversation with him, going over some details about how he coaches agents, gets them equipped to be able to sell real estate and empowering them to be better at their lives. And it's just going to be a wonderful, wonderful conversation. And then we're going to have one of our very own, Patricia Nadim, out of our Somerset, Kentucky office as a spotlight for this week. So it's going to be a great show. And guys, be sure to, make comments. If you guys have any questions for any of our guests, please put Q in front of that question. So in the comments, we know that it's a question. We'll open it up for a little bit of a Q&A at the end of each one of the segments. That way you guys can be part of the show as well. And also, if you're watching this on the replay, be sure to put in the comments hashtag team replay. That helps us know who's watching and from where. And also, if you've not subscribed or liked our show, please consider doing so by hitting the little button there and ringing the bell. So that is the wonderful housekeeping that we have every single show. So we've got some people logging in. We got Brandon Beatty. Brandon, good morning to you too. Emily Hacker says, looking forward to the show. Emily, glad to have you. Deborah Rocky, very nice to see you. How are you today? So we've got some people logging in. We're going to start the show. We're not going to have much of a hangout today because we want to get right into the content. So we are going to be able to start that. And right now, let's go ahead and start the actual show. Welcome to another episode of the Advantage Live Show. I am Adam Gullett, Director of Growth with Century 21 Advantage Realty, and I'm your host of the Advantage Live Show. And I'm joined with my host,
Jane Polivchik, and I'm the sales trainer and coach in the Richmond office.
Jane, thank you so much. And everybody, thank you for being here and watching this show. I do appreciate that. We've got a special show coming up. And in this episode, we're going to be interviewing Jarja James, founder of Jarja James Enterprises and Jarja Media. We'll do a deep dive into his company and what he does to empower the agents to be successful in their business. And then we're spotlighting one of our very own, Patricia Nadim, out of our Somerset, Kentucky office. It's going to be a wonderful show. We're looking forward to this. And we're going to go ahead and just roll straight into our conversation with Jarja James. All right, before we bring Jarja into the show, I want to read a little bit about Jarja. Most of you guys know who he is, but before we bring in him, I want to give him the proper introduction that he deserves. So Jarja James has become one of the most followed people in real estate today on places like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, LinkedIn, and his popular podcast Today with Jarja James. Because of his no-nonsense advice, motivation, and real-world sales tips and videos, he's an in-demand speaker, entrepreneur, and author of the book, Get Out of Your Way. He is the founder of Jarja James Enterprises, one of the largest coaching companies in North America, and Jarja Media, one of the fastest growing marketing companies in our industry. Jarja doesn't just talk about how to succeed in real estate. In his previous career as a realtor, he built one of the largest and fastest growing teams in the USA, earning him a spot in Realtor Magazine's elusive 30 Under 30 edition. To get his message out, Jarja speaks all over the world to tens of thousands of professionals every year and was even named one of Risk Media's top newsmakers and one of the top 25 most influential people in our industry today. That is Jarja James, and we're going to have a great conversation with him. Let's go ahead and welcome Jarja into this show. Jarja, come on in, buddy.
What's going on, man? How you doing,
Jarja,
man?
how's it going, man?
Good, man. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It's
absolutely.
I
Thanks for coming in.
And I want to meet that guy.
Yeah.
They say the best way to have a great bio is write your own. So
yeah, that's absolutely true. Well, it's a good one, man. But the thing about it is, it's all true. That's how I first met you down at the Century 21 121 conference down in Orlando. So that's where we first met. And man, you were on fire that day. It was awesome.
I can't wait to do it again, man. I can't wait. I'm actually back to doing events and stuff. Different states, different countries will do it. But I can't wait till everybody gets back. And, you know, these are nice, Zoom and virtuals and everything. But, man, there's something about, you know, those live events, the networking. And I can't wait to get back to that. Yeah,
I'm right there with you. It has been an interesting time to say the least, isolation. But you're right. I think if we did this about 5-10 years ago, and we didn't have Zoom and the abilities to do what we're even doing right now, man, what a completely different landscape.
Look at you, man. Look at the mic you're using. I mean, you're showing me up a phone like it's 1997, and you're over there with that professional camera, professional mic. I mean, who should be?
Yeah. Yeah, well, hey, man, you usually have a killer setup, though. So you've got to be on the road, man. You got to work.
Oh, yeah. We've seen your office. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's a fake. That's just a Zoom background.
Yeah, not true. We see people walking around all the time, man.
Yeah, you can always tell when someone has a Zoom background because their head all of a sudden disappears and their right arm goes away and it just disappears into the background. Somehow that's a great option.
Oh, that's good. Hey, but man, before we get into like the actual just conversation, we always like to do a little bit of just a rapid fire question, quick answer, just to let the audience kind of know you a little bit more. Although they already do. I mean, your bio is killer. So, but let's do a little bit of rapid fire question. You good with that?
Okay. Sure, man. Let's go.
All right. So I'm an avid reader. What are you currently reading?
So I actually don't read a lot of books. You know the leaders are readers line that you've heard for a long time. Leaders are learners. Okay, so in today's world, man, I'm a podcast. I'm an interview. I'm that guy. So what was the last book? The last book I read was a few weeks ago. I read Profit First.
Oh yeah.
I listened to.
Yeah, Mike Markowitz, is that right? I think he's the writer of that one.
Who
Is
would
that
be?
right?
I forget who the
I don't
author
know.
was. I don't
I've
know.
read
I
that
know his
book.
voice
It's
though.
really good.
Yeah, it was really good. It was interesting stuff. But that was probably the last one. I don't read a lot of like self-help. It sounds bad because I write books, but I don't really read a lot of self. They all say the same thing. I mean, how many times can we say control the things that you can control and stop worrying about the ones that you can't? Like, I get it. Got it. So I like interviews, man. I like to hear from real
Yeah.
people. I like to hear from successful people. It takes a lot for me to now pick up a book.
Yeah, I can understand that completely.
Yes.
So, Jared, what's one of your hidden talents?
That's a good question. I'm like Rain Man with math. When I was in high school, if I wanted to use the restroom, I had to square 27, which is 729. Yeah, that's probably my hidden. I don't share that too often, but yeah, it's kind of freakish. Yeah,
That's right.
That's awesome.
It's really weird, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was your first job?
Oh God. What do you count as a job? I mean, I remember helping the lady next door do stuff around her house to make money, taking stuff out and everything. But first job, I don't know, maybe Kmart. I don't know.
Kmart?
I should probably know this, but maybe Kmart, maybe something like that. I had a couple jobs at my first job. I worked a few different places at once for $5 an hour. No, I'm sorry. $4.25 an hour. $4.25 an hour.
$4.25, not even $5.
Nope, $4.25. Because I remember getting a raise to $5 and thinking, after this week, I'll never have to work again. I made so much money. So yeah.
Good deal.
So, Jared, what's one thing that your mother or father taught you that changed your life?
My God, that's a heavy question that changed my life. That changed my life. I'd have to think about that changed my life, but I can tell you one thing I learned from them is promptness. I am never late. Like if I'm on time, I'm late. It drives people around me nuts. I plan, I make sure that I'm very regimented like that. So change my life, I'd have to think about, because that's a deep question.
Yeah, it's a big one.
I will tell you. Yeah, from them I learned that regimented. My schedule will literally put 7-minute meetings in my calendar. I'm very regimented.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. Well, let's transition now into your enterprise and what you've done. And let's start off with just kind of tell our audience the story. Basically, who you were before becoming the coach that you are and the trainer and the author, and how that journey went for you.
Yeah, man, I'm the same guy I've always been. I'm purebred entrepreneur, everybody says that. That's a popular thing today, but I'm legitimately, I still to this day, I'm not just a speaker. Like I run around telling people what they should do. I run multiple businesses. And so, I was in the real estate industry and did extremely well. Was one of the top agents in the country, and got asked by a local publisher out of New York to write a book. And I say local, I guess New York is really not, that's a big city, but it's near me. And then just started getting asked by places to come speak at events, first locally, then nationally, then internationally, and just grew very quickly and built a coaching program, which is now one of the largest coaching programs for real estate agents in North America. From there, we built a marketing company, which has become one of the fastest growing. We built our own CRM software. We've now built our own transaction management company for agents. I'm purebred entrepreneur, man. And it's one of the things that drives me nuts about agents is that they don't think like that enough. They get into real estate because, they're entrepreneurial and they want to succeed or fail based on what they do. And then literally all they do is create a job for themselves and continue to live paycheck to paycheck. And just get by and completely fail in the potential gap as far as where they should be. And so, for the people that watch me and the people that follow me and the people that, one thing I'd like for them to get to me is not just what's a tactic to create a listing. I always tell people, watch what I'm actually doing. When it comes to, running businesses and running enterprises and using your businesses to fund the other things that you're passionate about. That's the part I don't think agents really take advantage of enough. They just think that they're commission to commission to commission their whole lives. It's like the next tip, like getting that closing.
Well, honestly, I think you kind of hit something, and I've been watching a lot of the interviews and stuff that you have done, and I found it kind of interesting that a lot of it is kind of the questions they ask a lot is like, how do I get this listing? How do I grow this business? And that's all necessary. But what do you do when you start making money and you operate from like a legacy mindset and you start trying to get to that next level? How do you take what you've earned now and invest and develop systems that you can replicate in other industries and so forth? It sounds like that's kind of what you've done.
Those are the questions I like to talk about. That's what gets me excited, right? I did a podcast the other day, and I talked about my kids and their friends, and I talked about how I was getting ready to buy a new car, and my kids and their friends, all they cared about was what the next car was going to be. You got to get this car, you got to get that car, and I stopped them and I said, hey guys, you need to be more interested in why I'm able to buy that car. You need to be more interested in what I'm listening to when I'm in that car than what car it is. Right. I said, if you're more impressed by the car than you are what I'm listening to in it, that gets me to the place where I'm able to buy that car, you're going to peak in high school. And I'm like, and you don't want to peak in high school. That sounds great right now because you want to be cool, but nobody wants to peak in high school. Nobody wants to Al Bundy, And so those are the things I like to talk about. I was telling them the other day, and I'm like, that dopamine release that you get from, buying stuff, like when agents get commissions and they go buy stuff and they buy clothes and they buy a new car and there's a dopamine release. That's cool. That's great. It feels good. You get that same release when you go buy stocks, when you go invest in a company, it's the same exact dopamine release. The only difference is now you're investing in assets that are actually going to continue to grow over time. Whereas those jeans aren't going to be cool in 18 months, and that's the side of the business that not enough people think about is the financial side and the running business side. And, all of that stuff like that, that's the stuff that I think people need to get more intrigued by instead of what's my next car.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely true. I really do.
So for an agent who has been running their business that way, the focusing and the next deal, how do they transition to, what steps would you advise that they take to kind of transition that business?
Okay, so first off, based on the answer I just gave, is you got to look at your lifestyle and figure out, are you living in a way that's going to allow you to invest back into your company, that's going to allow you to invest into other things that you're interested in, that's going to allow you, like, are you living in a world, your lifestyle, that's going to allow you to do that? It cracks me up when people tell me, oh, I really need help. I can't afford coaching. I really need help. I can't afford a CRM. I really need help. I can't afford to market on a regular basis. The only thing more expensive than consistent marketing is being invisible. Okay. Like that costs you a lot of money. Right. And so when someone tells me they don't have the money, they don't have whatever, I'm like, you got to go back and look at your lifestyle. Like if you actually looked at what you spend money on a regular basis in the last 6 months, that has no bearing on your life today, and it has no anything on your life today, and how much money you've wasted that you could have been investing back in yourself, that you could have been investing back into other things you're passionate about, that you could have been investing into your portfolio, it would depress you, So the first step is look at your lifestyle and start to question, do I need that or do I want that? Am I doing that for dopamine? And if so, that's fine. Let's acknowledge that. But there are other things that will release dopamine that actually turn into assets and actually grow your business and actually start to build out infrastructure and actually start to, and step one, by the way, I've been saying this it's the reason why I started a transaction management company. Every agent needs a TC, a transaction coordinator. Like, we live in a different world now, guys. Like, you should not be doing that stuff, right? So the easy step is to do something like that, get a TC, start to learn to delegate, start to learn how to be a business owner instead of doing what everybody's doing now, which is just running around like crazy, trying to take care of everybody and do everything and be everything to everyone. That is not going to work. We are living through right now the Amazonization of the industry.
Yeah, you're right.
When you look at, Zillow buying showing time, and everybody gets up in arms and they're like, it's a data play. They're after more data. No, they're not. They're after the Amazonization of our industry, meaning, when you go on Amazon, it doesn't matter if it's 3:20 in the morning or if it's 3:20 in the afternoon, you can purchase whatever you want. It's 24/7. When you look at them buying something like showing time, That's an Amazon play. That's so that people can be viewing properties and at 2:14 in the morning be scheduling showings and doing we need to think differently about how we do business.
Man, that's good. I think you're right. It really is a mindset. And I think you've also hit on a lot of points. It's like when you look at the industry too, you got this flooding of money into the technology industry. And there's a lot of people that are saying, hey, we're going to develop this tech for the real estate agent and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And when you really get down to it, a lot of it can be a distraction from actually helping you to build that system. And really that's what technology is for. It's to help you build a system that you can replicate and use. So that's what the database is for, right? That's that number one system that we need to have in place in 2021.
Technology is here to free us up to do the things we should have been doing all along. Don't get it twisted. And guys, look, I'm pro technology. I built a CRM. Like I invested millions of dollars and built a CRM. That's how much I mean. That's how much it means to me. But it is not there to turn on autoplay and forget what our industry is about. For all those people who are afraid of all the billions of dollars that are flooding into our industry from, venture capital and all these other places, you need to understand something. Like when you look at the Zillows of the world and the Redfins of the world and all these different places, and you're worried about them stealing your clients, or you're worried about, whatever, like if your clients are your clients, they're not going and getting an agent on Zillow. They're not going and look, my wife isn't looking for a man on Tinder. She's taken. Like it's not, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried. Right. I'm not like, oh my God, Tinder's getting popular. Holy crap, what am I gonna do? Okay. Like she's good. You know what I'm saying? And in the same way, all of you that are spending so much time scared to death about what's going on with the tech companies in our industry, why don't you pick up the phone and call your freaking customers? Like, why don't we actually have a plan for post-transaction so that we don't work with people for 6 months? They're our best friend ever. And then they close and we forget about them. You don't need to worry about them straying away if you just kept them in-house. If we just did our job and we used the technology to free us up to do the things we should have been doing all along. So the technology reminds us when we need to follow up, reminds us what we need to follow up about. That's fantastic, but you still have to do something.
Yeah, that's right.
And by the way, I'm going to use that Tinder thing on the stage. I like that.
That was actually really good. Yeah. Great comparison, right? My wife finds value with me, therefore she's not looking anywhere else.
As I'm saying it, I'm going to myself, is this going to cancel me? Is this cancel culture going to hit me now because I'm using a Tinder example? I mean, you have to wonder in today's world.
Oh, sad but true.
Yeah.
But I think it passed the test. I like that. I'm going to write that down.
I think that's a keeper, man, for sure.
How many times have you gone to a real estate event and heard a good Tinder joke?
I don't think I ever have, to be honest. I
don't think so.
Zero. I'm gonna go with zero. I've never heard a good Tinder joke at a real estate event. That's getting put in the repertoire, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, so here's something for you too. So to me, 2020 kind of ushered in this video like revolution almost, right? It's like go to 2019. All the conversation I had with agents is like, oh, I don't really want to do video. Oh, live video. They didn't want to get in front of the camera. Yeah. Then all of a sudden 2020 hits and you're forced into this new world. You got to get comfortable with it. Like, do you feel like that is something that's pretty much a necessity for agents? Like they need to be doing video.
Stay-at-home moms are doing Zoom happy hours. Come on. We still need to talk about, should you be doing video? I mean, duh. We don't even have, when we, it's literally as dumb as, should I take a car to work or should I walk 15 miles? Duh.
That's it.
Video is, if you're still picking up the phone for the most part when you're meeting with people and you're calling them and you're doing this and you're doing whatever, no, this is connection. The fact that I literally don't care and just tell you guys, hey, I'm going to do this show. Hey, I'm just going to have my phone. I'm going to pick it up and they're going to see me and do whatever and not care. That's the world we now live in. That's the world your people are living in. That's the world you're living in. There is no more, I'm not comfortable in front of video. I don't look perfect. You look exactly like every other person that you're walking around in front of real life and that sees you. You look just like that when you look at the camera and the red light is on or the, whatever. It's not even worth talking about anymore. It's just video. Yes. The answer is yes. It's yes to everything. Should I do video with this? Yes. Should I do video with that? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Every single place that you can put video in, video should be there.
It is. And I think we've entered into an arena where we keep talking about content. We got to have content. We got to have content. Yeah. And that's what people are seeking with that personal person behind the camera. They want that connection. I think you're right. I think that's what they want.
Yeah, and just have a conversation. Look, I just talked to you this morning, and I came up with a reference and a joke that I'm going to use for the next year. You know, I didn't plan that. That's just that happens from you just not caring and saying I'm going to have a conversation. You know, when you go into your conversations from day to day in real life, you don't stop and look at your notes first and go, then I'm going to go here, then I'm going to go here, and then they're going to say this, and I'm going to go here, and then no, like. You just go. That's what makes you human, and that's what makes you relatable. You know, everything doesn't have to be perfect. Everything doesn't have to be. It's just got to be you. You know, like that's what it comes down to. It's just got to be you, and that's the world we now live in, right? And that's what separates you from so many other agents. There's only one of you, so you might make bad jokes. You might, laugh awkwardly. You might. Whatever your thing is, that's what's going to draw people to you. And let's stop pushing away from that and start leaning into that.
That's good.
Can you talk a little bit about the fear? That's what we hear. It's the fear of messing up on video, and there's a lot of fears in that agents come up against.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fears in the world right now. So you can hop in a cocoon, or decide to be bubble boy, or you can, it's just fear is not an excuse to not do something, right? Like I want you to picture a world for a second where you never do anything that you're afraid of. First off, you wouldn't learn to walk. You would never learn to drive. You would never talk to somebody of the opposite sex. You would never, that is not an excuse. Everything great in your life usually came from the fact that you overcame some kind of a fear, and that's what makes it worth it, And so that is an excuse to me, is just on the other side of that is probably something really great. And so you've got to change the meaning in your head of what that fear actually means. Fear actually means holy crap, something good might come from this. What an exciting moment, because how many things do I do throughout the day that are just so freaking monotonous and mean nothing and are not long standing and now I've got an opportunity to do something that actually strikes a little fear and might mean something and let's go after that. Again, let's lean into that. Yeah. But you're going to let fear stop you. I don't know if you've been around the last year, but there's a little bit of that in the world right now.
Right.
It's like everyone is fear. Go turn on the TV. Fear. Fear.
They're selling it.
So just lean into it,
Yeah.
I feel bad for anybody right now that is fearful of fear, because it's
debilitating. Yeah. You might as well just not do anything, because you're gonna be scared to death to do anything.
Yeah.
Do you realize every time you get in the car, somebody is driving a missile right at you, and the only thing that keeps them from running directly into you is that somebody painted a yellow line 3 feet in between you? Do you understand that somebody who's texting on their phone is driving a missile directly at you at 60 miles an hour, and somebody did a dotted yellow line, and so I guess I'm safe. How's that for you? You should be scared to death of that.
That is absolutely true. It's all about perspective. Oh man, that's good. So, Jared, you also, I'm going to touch on this because I did watch maybe it was last week, I think you posted a podcast, and I want to bring this into this show because I thought it was really good. It was basically the marketing that agents should be doing in 2021. I think it was 8.
I think it said 8, yes.
Yeah. I know I'm not asking you to do all 8, but just tell us a few of those that were main big keys for 2021 for agents to kind of keep in mind and work towards doing.
All right. So first off, you all should just go listen to it. I put it up on my podcast. We also put it up on my YouTube channel.
Yes.
You guys can go look at them. But, some of it was more very practical from the perspective that, you look at the fact that places like Chrome and stuff are going to eliminate, retargeting and such.
The cookies.
Yeah, they're going to and that's a big thing. For those of you who don't understand, when you go to a site, you accept cookies. That's how good marketers are able to follow you around, and they're able to. But the main thing, so guys, go check out those 8. I get very practical, but the main thing that I would want your people to hear, if I wanted to just say there was one thing they need to understand, it's really something I've been saying for a while, which is that in 2021, the veil between business and personal, it needs to end. One of the things I said in that podcast was I said, we always talk about how everything is sales, right? Everyone's in sales. A stay-at-home mom is in sales. They're trying to convince that kid why it's in their best interest to do what it is that they want them to do, right? But I think what people don't understand in the world we live in today is that every day, everything you do is also marketing. Because every time you do something as a local realtor, me, when I'm doing what I'm doing, like I'm a brand, everything I do is people not only looking at me personally, but they're thinking about me professionally, and they're going, huh, and he does that, and would I want to use that service? And he does this good over here, but then he did this over, and they're always doing that because there's no more line between this is business Jared and this is personal Jared. There's no more of that anymore. Like, you got to realize that it's just you. There's no more, I've got a business Instagram profile where I post listings, and then I've got a personal profile where I drink wine, and then there's whatever. Like, no, that is not the world we live in. We can be more connected to people than ever before by actually, in our marketing and in what we do, showing who we actually are in all the areas, right?
Yes.
And so that to me is a major takeaway. But as far as like the very practical, this change, that change, this is what's happening in digital marketing, that's what I would tell them. Go listen to the podcast, take notes. We also put it up on YouTube. There's some very practical stuff.
I'll put a link in the description as well, and a card. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you do a lot of that. I follow you on Instagram, and I mean, you can see Jared walking through the airport at 4 a.m. on his way to his next event, and with his coffee.
That's it. And then you'll see me coaching my kids' soccer team. Like,
yeah,
that's right.
It's just real. Like that is in today's world. That is the ultimate advantage. Is that people have the ability to connect on all those levels, because when people connect on you on that level, now you're more than just someone who can open the door for them at a showing. You are Billy, the agent, but also the husband, father, sister, this, that, whatever that happens to be in real estate and support their family this way. And now they're actually connected to you, right? And when you don't do that, you're losing the potential for that connection that would never allow them to go to a third-party app or site or whatever and steal them from you, because you're not doing the things that actually connects them to you, right? You're trying to be so professional and show them guys, I hate to say it, they don't care about your next open house. Like, they don't care about your last listing, like, great, whatever, but they're not going online hoping it shows up. But when they see something about you personally, I mean, that's why reality shows win. Like, we think they're boring. People keep watching, They
do.
It's people's lives. We're interested in
They're connecting.
Stuff. Yeah.
Well, I want to be respectful of your time, Jared. And we've got a question here for you. Steppen says, Jared, doesn't a TC disrupt the agent-client relationship, the transaction coordinator?
That makes the relationship. That is like, it makes you look professional. It saves you on average 8 hours per transaction. And quite frankly, what makes someone great at being an agent is what makes them suck at managing a transaction. They're two completely different personality profiles. Okay. Like, literally two like, unless you're schizophrenic, there's no way you're doing both of them great. Okay. And again, you get a great TC, they make you look professional, because everything's being like, our TCs, for example, when you look at contract to close, they have 62 steps they follow. So our average agent, when they step in and they create their custom workflow with their TC, is looking at our workflow and they're going, holy crap, you do that, you do that, you do that. I don't do any of that for my clients. And so rather than waiting for you to slow down so that you can give your client a good experience, they should have the same experience every single time.
Absolutely.
Right?
Consistency.
And you're not going to beat all these other places who, again, are Amazoning the real estate industry by continuing to try to hustle harder and do everything yourself. It doesn't. And the beauty of a TC is there's no risk. You pay when they close. You don't pay when you don't close. When you're busy and you're doing a bunch of transactions, you pay more because there's more closings. When you're slow and there's no transactions, you pay nothing. But on average, eight hours per transaction per file you save that you can use to create more business, shake more hands, kiss more babies, whatever, or just relax,
Yeah, that's good.
Look, you run a business.
It goes back to what you were saying previously, right? You were talking about after the transaction, right? It's like, that's when you begin to build a relationship, because we all have read the statistics. It's the moment you close a property, the agent gets the check, it's like they never hear back from you again. So if you want to go to the next level, and you want to have that referral business that actually gives you longevity and a legacy and a business you can sell later down the road, that's it. It's that
average
after that
lifetime value of the
transaction.
client, $117,000, right?
Yeah, it's insane.
$117,000. And so where is the majority of that $117,000? Is it on the left side of the transaction, that one deal, or is it on the right side of the transaction post-close? Okay.
There you go.
And yet, where are we putting all our energy? On the left side. We need to start focusing on the right side. Okay, that's where all the money is.
Yeah, that's you've nailed it. That's exactly right. That's what we play for.
And I've heard
Exactly
you speak
right.
on this before, Jared, and you talk about why are you wasting your time doing things that aren't making you money, that aren't helping you build your relationships. Let someone else do those.
Hey, whether you're on this and you do 150 transactions, or you're on here and you do 10 transactions, you're probably working the same number of hours. It's just like we're all busy. It's just a matter of how do you scale your business. And that's why I said you either run a business or you run around. You are not going to run a business by thinking that a TC is going to somehow mess up the transaction. Like that's step one. They make the transaction. Like they make you look better. They make more referrals come. They allow you to do more things. I mean, it's you shouldn't be doing everything. That's not a business.
That's right. That's right.
That's a hobby. If you can't
that's
go on vacation,
absolutely true.
if you can't retire, if you can't get sick and your business still runs, you don't have a career. You have a hobby.
That's right. Couple comments for you. Gene Epperson says, hi, Jared.
Hey, how you doing?
Terry Woodward says, my first job paid me $1.30.
Wow.
Oh, that's wow. Emily Hacker says, this is good. Very good. Stacy Kelly, this is awesome.
That's awesome.
So Jared, thank you so much. And I'm gonna bring up on the screen some of the ways that people can get in contact with you, and we'll go over those. But I definitely want to say thank you so much for giving us the time to come on the show. Value what you do and what you're doing for the agents and business people in general. Much appreciated.
Hey, I love it, man. I appreciate it so much. Love to see 21 brand. You guys know that. For all of you watching, I got to run, but if you just go to connectwithjared.com, I make it really easy. Connectwithjared.com. Connect on Instagram, Facebook, all these different places, but send me a DM anytime, direct message. I answer all the questions. You got a business question, you just want to say hi, go for it. It's one of the things that I still set aside time to do because I think it matters. And that's really what I'm here for, guys. I'm here to help you. And so I try to find as many ways possible to do that. So thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll do it again at some point.
Jared, thank you. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
I'll see you.
See ya. That was good. Here is some information about Jared. If you guys want to connect with him, you can get in contact. He did say connectwithjared.com, which has a list of every single one of these contacts on there. But just for the sake of, if you're on your mobile device right now, feel free to go to those sites and follow him, subscribe. I tell you what, he's got a great podcast and a very good YouTube channel. So encourage you guys to check that out.
Lots of coaching tips from him, lots of business tips. They're great.
They are. They really, really are. Well, that was a good interview, good conversation. I really do appreciate him coming on. That was wonderful. I hope you guys found some value in that. We have some other people, and some people are laughing. Deborah Rocky Tinder. Yeah, that was a good one. I have a feeling we're going to hear more of that from Jared. So it's good. All right, guys. It's now to transition into our next segment, and it is going to be our spotlight with Patricia Nadim out of our Somerset, Kentucky office. All right, so we're at the Agent Spotlight, and we're going to have a special guest, Patricia Nadim. She is with our Century 21 Advantage Realty office in Somerset, Kentucky, and I just love this lady.
Me too.
Been
I
working
could
with her.
listen to her talk all day. Her accent is so beautiful.
It really is. It really is. And before we bring her on, though, I want to give her a proper introduction before we get into the conversation. So, whether you are buying or selling a property, the experience doesn't have to be stressful. It can be smooth, pleasant, and successful. Having the right realtor means having an agent who is committed to help you buy your dream home or sell your property with the highest level of expertise of the changing market of the Lake Cumberland area, pricing strategies, negotiation skills, new technologies, and support of the Century 21 team. This also means to help you understanding each step of the buying or selling process. Nothing is more exciting to Patricia than the gratifying feeling she gets from helping people meet their real estate goals. You can count on her to always do what's in your best interest. She exemplifies integrity, transparency, hard work, and creative services in every detail of any real estate transaction. She has lived in Southeast Kentucky for 23 years. And if you are wondering where her accent comes from, she was born and raised in France. She has traveled the world and had many career paths. She welcomes adventures and challenges. That's what makes her a great agent, more intuitive and ready for any surprises on the way. What she loves about real estate is helping people and getting to know them while understanding their needs. It's really important to be open and honest throughout the process. And Patricia is personable, and she puts her heart and dedication to protect her clients' best interests. She would appreciate the opportunity to put her talents to work for you. Please let Patricia guide you by calling or texting her at 606-219-8938. So that is Patricia. Let's bring her on into the show. Hey, Patricia.
Hey, guys.
Good morning,
everybody.
Yes. Welcome to the Advantage Live show.
So excited.
Yes. So glad to have you.
Yeah, we know you're a big fan of our guest speaker today. So did you enjoy that?
That is between us because you were at the convention in Orlando.
I was.
Oh, that's great. Yes. So, Patricia, share with us a little bit how you ended up getting into the real estate industry.
Oh, before that, I was the owner and manager of Curve in Somerset. And after 5 years, my contract was ending, and I said, what am I going to do now? Donc, I joined the leadership program with the Chamber of Commerce in 2015. And after I met a realtor, I don't know if I can say his name, but his name is Rick. Now, probably people will know who he is. And I said, do you think I could be a realtor? He said, yeah, of course. I said, what should I do? And then he told me about the school in Lexington. I went to Lexington. First, I just called. And they told me, we're starting Monday. I said, okay, I'm coming. And that's how I became a realtor.
That's good. I love it. You just jumped all the way in, but you kind of have that entrepreneurial mindset anyway, right? Yeah. You already had that background, like we just previously mentioned there in your bio. So it makes sense. I mean, it's a natural progression into real estate.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's good.
So other than those things, Patricia, what are some interesting things that people might not know about you?
Oh, in France, I was a nurse. But I was not working in the hospital. I was home health. And then I also was insurance agent, donc always independent, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And here I was a Zumba instructor because I love to dance.
Yes. I would love to have taken those Zumba classes. You need to do that again.
Oh, yes, sure. Anytime.
That's good. So so you've been in it how long? Let's see. When did you get licensed, Patricia?
5 years. It's been 5 years.
5 years. All right. So here's a little bit of a challenging question. I mean, you got to think back to 5 years of real estate, but what are some of the successes you've had in real estate? And then what is one of your most memorable moments so far?
Oof, and I think the biggest thing is to grow personally. I felt a big change, a big shift in me. And I owe that to real estate and Century 21 and the whole team. And it was tough in the beginning, I have to say. I was very scared, and then I think this past year was really good to just grow and work on my mindset. That was a big thing. Mindset.
Yeah. Mindset. I think that's a good one.
It just clicked. Everything come together after that. Of course, a lot of classes, but the mindset is what make it really work together.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming in the beginning, wasn't it? But as you got further and further, you just.
But you were there, both of you helping.
Yes.
You were.
Yeah, we've been along for the journey, and I have to say, Patricia came in and one thing I would say about Patricia, she was always willing to just learn. It wasn't that she ever came in with any idea that she knew more than anybody else. Even though she had a lot of experience in business, she came into this with just an open mind, ready to learn. And I remember, Patricia, you showed up for every training, every meeting. You took every single class. You went to the onboarding class that Jane did. I mean, it was just like you were all in. And if I was to look back at you the very first year to where you are now, which, by the way, I will add, was just recently pinned as a partner with Central 21. So first year all the way to 5. And it's amazing. I've loved the journey. It's been a privilege and an honor to be a part of that journey with you. Yes. I mean, for sure.
No, yes. But it's very important to learn from the best. You always have to find the one who knows how and try to learn from, it's very important to do that. You'll be a lifelong learner. That's for sure.
Yeah. I completely agree.
I love to read. I love to always listen to Audible, podcasts, whatever. But it's always good to hear from the one who learns with something to teach.
Yes.
So Patricia, when you first got your license, how did you decide where to go? What made you decide, with all the models out there, that Century 21 is where you needed to be?
I interviewed 5 companies, 5 of them. And then I asked one of the loan officer, who was also in my leadership program. It's Maggie Clark. And she told me, I said, what is the best real estate company? Which is the best broker? And she said, Steve Robinson. I said, really? I said, she said, he's very fair. He's very nice. I say, fair, good. Okay, I'm going. No, I just called. And then Adam asked me to come and interview me. And then it just clicked. I said, that's it. It's home. And it's the best decision I ever made.
Awesome. Thanks,
We're
Patricia.
so happy you did. It's such a pleasure to work with you.
Yes.
Totally agree.
I'm having a lot of fun.
Yes, you are. And it's always fun. And so I really do value your friendship. And I am very thankful you chose Central 21 for sure.
But sometimes there is some tough time, there is some challenging time. And when I have to call you, Adam, or Steve, that means I have really big things. But I always have an affirmation the morning about that. I am stronger than any challenges. I am stronger than any challenges. And that pushed me to go through. I say, I can do it. I'm sure.
I love that. That's a good affirmation.
It is.
Because it's all about problems that we need to solve. But it's nice to also have the idea with other who are more experienced, and it's important to get their input.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think that's one thing that I do value about this company. It's like there is a lot of knowledge in the agent base and everybody. You're not alone. There's plenty of people around that we can all rely on. And it's such a blessing for sure. So, Patricia, what is the one decision that you think put you on the course to where you are now? What could you say is that decision?
The decision, I don't know who got me or where I am now. I think, I don't know.
Well,
it's circumstances, that brought me here. It does.
If you don't mind, I'll bring an opinion to it. I think it comes down to your willingness to learn and not let anything outside define who you are. I think the decision is probably more of a lifelong decision for you, that you just said, you know what, I'm just going to do things even though I'm uncomfortable and it makes me afraid. I'm going to do it anyway. So I think maybe it's at a young age that you operated that way, but I think it started at multiple points in your life. But I would say that one decision that you chose to not let fear define Patricia.
Yes, it took a while though.
Yes.
But really to just come out of my shell and be more confident. This job really was what I needed to push me to get
Yeah,
here.
we've seen such a change in you from when you first came till now. It has been so great to watch your confidence and your abilities just grow and grow with all that you've done.
Yes,
Yep.
and having la joie de vivre as a fan. Yes.
Yes.
And embrace who I am, because
Yeah.
it was tough in the beginning because I felt the people, they hang up on me, I'm French, and then I say, well, yeah, I'm French, and so what,
That's right. That's who you are. You owned it and you kept doing it.
And you're very brave. I mean, I know there's some video things that you were afraid to do and different challenges that you had, and you just pushed through and just kept trying, and it just all clicked.
But also I have good coaches.
You make it fun and easy.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, though, I want to share with you a couple comments that's come in, Patricia, because I think you want to see these. Donna Gregorich, I love Patricia. Her sincerity is recognized not only by her verbal responses, but her body language as well.
Thank you. But she saved one of my deals. She's always there for me. I can count on her, even she's in another town. That's what I like about this family. We're all connected, and we like to help each other. And
yes, the support. I totally agree. Chad, hey Patricia, hard worker and learner.
Yes, he's my friend. Yeah, we like to have fun together too. Oh, my other good friend.
Kathy Jones, I love Patricia. She is authentic.
Yes, I love her too.
Missy Gabbard, great job.
Oh. Yes.
But Deborah Rocky, Patricia is amazing. I could never move to another country and do as well as she has. 100.
No, thank you.
And Emily Hacker, very true, Patricia.
Yes. But I also have to thank my husband, who always pushed me. He always said, you have to go back to school, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. But now he's so happy, and he's so proud that I became a partner. Where is my badge? Right here. Yes.
There you go.
He is so proud. He said, yes, that's so nice.
Yep, he should be. You've worked very hard. You've been very diligent.
And we're very proud also.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Do you have any other questions?
Well, other than just if somebody's wanting to buy or sell, what's the best way that they can get a hold of you?
Oh, everybody knows.
We're going to add it to the stream. There it is.
There we go.
That's Patricia Nadim. You can reach her at 606-219-8938 if you're looking to buy or sell in the state of Kentucky.
Yes, thank you.
Patricia, thank you for coming on the show. It was a true pleasure.
Yes, and I'm really proud it's that thing. Yeah.
Yes.
That was a nice thing.
Yep, those awards are always well-deserved and well-earned.
Yes.
It's great to see you again.
Yes.
I hope the weather clears up and we all can get back together.
Well, I'm going to go to Florida to see you.
Now. Oh, come see me. That would be amazing.
There you go.
I miss you guys.
We might all just show up, Jane.
Please do. I need your all support right now. I would love that.
Yes.
Yes. We need each other for sure.
We do. Patricia, have a wonderful day and a great weekend. Thank you again.
Oh, yes. I'm excited for the weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be good. We'll see you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Oh, Patricia, genuine.
Yeah.
Just so authentic and genuine. Well, guys, that wraps up this episode. This was episode 10, Jane. We've done 10 of these now.
Wow. It's really flying by.
It really is. Good conversations.
Like, it's Friday again.
Yeah. It comes pretty quick.
It does. But
So
we've had so many interesting people, and it's been so amazing to, actually have the time to sit down with our agents and kind of hear from them and get to know them a little better. I think that's helped our whole office, to hear things about the agents they work with that maybe they didn't know.
Yeah.
It's been great.
I would agree with that. I think there's a lot of value in that. And really this platform works out great for this. It's so perfect for this, and especially with what we've been going through in 2020. This is good. Deb Rocky says, looks like you're in your mom's new house.
I am. Yeah.
Deb says 10.
Thank you.
Virtual high five there, Deb.
I know. We're so happy.
Thank you, Chad.
You can't see all the boxes everywhere, but yeah, we're happy to be here.
That's right. We are very happy. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate that. Well, guys, that wraps up this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please consider doing so. If you found any kind of value in this at all, please do that. And there's also a bell beside it. Please do that. And to really help the YouTube algorithm, they like that little thumbs up like button. Just learned about that. So hit that as well, just to give us a good like that you like this. That'll help us kind of get the word out there a little bit more. Brings more value to our agents as well as the conversation we have with our special guests. We want to be able to provide value to all of you guys. And so but in the meantime,
can you tell us what's coming up?
Absolutely. So next week we got Greg Harrelson, which is he is in Myrtle Beach of South Carolina, and he is the Century 21 Harrelson Group. He's been in the industry for, I think, 25 years, and he's in the top 1% of realtors nationwide. So he is just an awesome guy, and he is very active in just helping agents succeed. He is on there doing his own. He also has a podcast called the Level Up Podcast, and he just gets on there and just shares information that he's going through and things that he just feels that would bring value to agents and even business owners in general. So he's come on the show. The following week, we're going to have Dr. Lawrence Young, Chief Economic Advisor with the National Association of Realtors. So we'll have a conversation with him kind of about what the economy is doing, what it did in 2020, what that kind of looked like, and what that kind of set it up to be like in 2021. So it'll be a good conversation with him. And as realtors, that kind of information is very, very important for us. So, Jane, do you have anything else?
No, I was just going to say that Level Up podcast is really great. If you get an opportunity and have some time, I know many parts of the country are snowed in right now. It would be a great thing to listen to. It
would. I'll put a link in the show notes too, so you guys can have access to that. So come back to this video and click that link. It'd be good to have. So in the meantime, guys, until next week, next Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, same place you're watching now, be fearless, keep pushing forward, and never stop being relentless in your pursuit of excellence. We'll see you guys later.
Have a great day.